So, Nightmare Fuel, who we have talked about before, recently did a video breaking down Kyle Kulinski's segment on the United States starting to bomb Niger. I thought the video was overall and I'll agree Kyle did not do his best in that segment. However, there is one part of the video that I thought was just, oh my god. In which he says, and I'm kind of paraphrasing, but essentially he says, because do not get me wrong, Kyle Kulinski is an anti-American propagandist. Oh my god. Okay. So, calling secular talk, calling Kyle Kulinski an anti-American propagandist, first off, that's just intellectually lazy. That's just a way for your audience to write off your argument. I like how I'm saying that when there's an American flag in the background. I can prove I'm not one, Nightmare Fuel, don't worry. But essentially, yeah, it's just intellectually lazy. It's just what your fans want to hear. What you're essentially doing is you're appealing to patriotism. You're doing the same thing that I'm going to avoid that the Ronald Reagans of the world do, where they just say, oh, you're against this? You don't like it? Well, that must mean you hate this country. Do you hate this country? Love it or leave it? All that stuff. You've heard a million times before if you're on the left. And Nightmare Fuel, to be on his credit, is on the left, and I agree with him on most issues. On interventionism, I'm mixed on it, personally. But it's a weird statement to make, essentially. I mean, the idea that, because let's assume that you think Kyle is wrong. I'll even say more than Nightmare Fuel does. I'll say you think Kyle is wrong, not just on foreign policy, but on economic policy, maybe even on social policy. Okay, we can have that discussion. But when you're calling someone an anti-American propagandist, you're just shutting it down right there. You're just, no discussion, no anything. You're anti-American. You're defending Al-Qaeda. That's another one he accused Kyle of. Which is, oh, what? You're defending Al-Qaeda. You are anti-American. You like Boko Haram. No one actually believes that. And for that matter, even if Kyle did not break down the story, did not do enough research on the story, which I do agree, this was not one of Kyle's better segments. Kyle is simply against countries being bombed by any country, specifically the U.S. And for that matter, I would have loved to see Nightmare Fuel, who loves interventionism so much, during, say, the Henry Kissinger days. That would have been, not just the Cheney days, the Henry Kissinger days would have been funny. But anyway, and Kyle is just simply against countries being bombed. Now, we can argue about that statement, but you can't just shut it down by going, it's anti-American. And to be fair, to Nightmare Fuel's credit, he did actually do an okay job at arguing Kyle's points in that video. However, that line just came out of nowhere and was essentially used as a way so people who weren't paying attention could just turn their brain off. Just, okay, I'm going to watch this video, I'm not really paying attention. Oh, he's an anti-American propagandist? Okay, I'm outraged. I am outraged. Urgh. That's it. I'm Ephrom, and good night.